then we can let everyone in. All right, Kit Kat, we have a new co-host. Perfect. Should be, then we can let everyone in. Good. Okay, cool. All right, we're good to go. Kit Kat, we can go ahead and let everyone in. All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. What's good, everyone? Hi, Jamie. Hey, Jordan. Jordan, the homie. What's good? Hey, Eber. Shade.
Hello.
Shade, long time no see. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Hey.
Hey, that's good. Mally Shane is a very talented artist out of New Jersey.
New York.
New York.
What's going on, Shane, man? How you doing?
I'm feeling good, man. What's up?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Can't complain.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of very talented people in here. We're gonna give everyone a couple minutes to get situated and to get into the room, but feel free to introduce yourselves in either the chat, or if you want to introduce yourself live, then you can either just raise your hand or unmute yourself and you can go ahead and introduce yourself. Does anyone want to say hello?
Hey,
Eber?
how you doing?
Oh,
Hey,
Who's
how
that?
everybody doing? My name is Suli. I'm a
hey,
hip-hop
Sully.
artist. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing a little grocery shopping. But I'm
Man,
doing well.
live from the grocery store.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
dig it. Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Appreciate you
How y'all
tuning in,
doing?
man.
What'd you say?
I said appreciate you for tuning in.
Oh, yeah. Man, appreciate you and doing this event, bro. Be great to hear
Absolutely.
from you, man. Looking forward to hearing what you got to say. Big
Nice.
time.
We're playing some of Suli's music later on. So Suli, we'll hear from you in a bit.
Let's
Alrighty.
go.
Cool. Eber, I saw your hand next. Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Eber or Eber. It changes when I'm speaking English or Spanish. I'm a Latin artist. I'm located in Toronto. I'm excited to hear what I learned today. Because will definitely apply to me and my team. Thank you, guys.
Let's get it, man. Appreciate you for being in here.
Cool. Kimani or Kaimani, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, Kamani. Hey everyone. So I'm a co-founder of Solar Records. We are a R&B platform. And I recently just started getting into doing PR for artists. I'm doing a campaign right now for an artist, and I've found it kind of difficult to find, blogs to reach out to. So definitely hoping to learn more about the best practices and finding more blogs within the R&B space and with, just in music in general to reach out to and pitch artists.
Absolutely. I think we've worked together indirectly before. So to be able to, sit here and chop it up, who's going to be fire, man. Appreciate you.
Sure, for sure.
Cool. Thanks for coming in, Kimani. Nice to meet you.
Of course, nice to meet you too.
All right, Nyla. Hey, Nyla. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. Hi, Lexi. It's really nice to be here again. My name is Nyla. I go by Nyla anyways. I'm an artist from San Diego, based in San Diego, but I moved to Texas recently. I'm in the Dallas area. If anybody is into Afro pop and R&B, please link up. I could definitely leave my information in the chat. And yeah, I just am happy to be here, happy to be surrounded by talented people and like-minded people.
Cool. Thanks for coming, Nyla. It's good to see you. Cool. Well, it is 7:05, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Alexi. I'm the CEO and founder of Finesse Media, and obviously we've got the GOAT, the legend, Mally from Swid Life here. So everybody please clap your hands for the GOAT. Thank you for coming in. I see it is 2 a.m. for some of you for Root. So Root, thanks for coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning. And thank you everybody else for coming in. So real quickly, we are celebrating unofficially, kind of officially, kind of not unofficially, our 3-year anniversary for Finesse Media.
Give it up for that.
Thank
Let's
you.
go. That's fire.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're really excited to have everybody here today because not only are we celebrating 3 years of our, amazing platform and community, but one of the reasons why I wanted to bring Mally on personally instead of doing a big panel this time was because Mally runs Swid Life, obviously, and has been running it for, what is it now, 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, about to be going on. Yeah, going on 5. So 5 years.
And Mally, I spent a little time on your website and your Instagram counting how many artists you've promoted and the average of artists that you've promoted. You promoted more than 1,000 artists in the last
That's
5
crazy.
years.
That's crazy. It's a
Yeah.
crazy statistic. That's fire.
So I really wanted to bring on, and this is for all of you independent artists and those of you who are parts of artist teams, I wanted to bring on someone who has been in the music industry for some time now, could give some perspective to all of you, and someone who really cares about independent artists as well. So I hope that everyone gets a lot of information. We dropped a contact sheet in the chat, so feel free to continue connecting with folks. The way that this event will run is we're going to do an interview with Mally, more like a discussion, and then we'll go into Q&A around 7:45 to 8-ish, and then 8 to 8:30 we'll do the listening session where we have about 6 artists to playing their music for us today. So I hope that you're all excited. If you are, for those of you who have been here before, you all know the deal. Unmute your mics, and if you're excited for Mally to speak, give us a little woo woo.
Woo, woo.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. So let's go ahead and get started. Mally, I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight you. Or actually, Kit Kat, can you spotlight the both of us really quick?
Yes.
Cool. So we'll go ahead and just get started in a second. Here we are. And then are you able to spotlight me too, Kit Kat? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. So Mally, thank you so much for joining us again, the homie, the goat.
Absolutely. It's a long time coming. Me and Alexi have been trying to get in on a call for so long, never worked out. So for this to be the first time we're actually communicating and talking in front of y'all is gonna be fire. So appreciate everybody for tuning in again.
Cool. Mally, we have about almost 50 people in here. Majority of them, I think, are eating dinner or on their way to eating dinner or going grocery shopping. But I want to just talk a little bit about your background and how you got into the music industry, because I know a little bit about it, but I think it would be great for other folks to hear more about how you got into the music industry.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll try to make this not super long-winded. I could go on tangents if y'all let me, so I don't want to do that.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, so kind of just jumping into it. I've always been around music in some way, shape, or form, whether it's been working on cover art for artists or co-managing artists. I've always just kind of found my work to be revolved around music and the music industry as a whole. But I didn't get my initial first start in the music industry until I started interning at Car Part Records as a digital marketing intern. And from there, I was able to develop and implement digital marketing strategies and really just soak in and soak up as much game as knowledge as I really could. And just learning about the inner workings of the music industry during that time and just trying, familiarize myself with how that end of the music business really operates. And from there, I went on to work at various different music startups, whether it be on the brand marketing side, like what I'm currently doing at Dame Funk's debut boutique independent label Glide Zone Recordings, or on the digital marketing front, developing marketing strategies for digital content such as email campaigns, social media campaigns, and SMS campaigns. But through all these positions and roles that I've held over the course of my career, I've been able to apply everything that I've learned and everything that I'm learning to what we're currently building over at Swid Life Media, which some of y'all may be familiar with. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, Swid Life is a media platform that I founded which really aims to elevate talented musicians and creatives in the respective fields that they work in. The platform's main focus has really been to showcase rising artists and just equip them with the tools they need to succeed in the music industry, and just expand their reach and their opportunities. I believe we provide a comprehensive and supportive community for emerging artists to grow their fan base and gain recognition in the music industry, whether it be through press that we do on our website, editorial playlists that we have, social media opportunities, whether it's like, IG takeovers, IG interviews, or whatever the case really is. We've always just been about connecting artists with industry professionals and just helping them further their careers, and using our reach and our platform to assist them with that. And, just kind of put that battery in their back and make this journey for them as fulfilling as possible, and knowing that they got somebody like us, they got a finesse media in their corner backing them up. So that's really about me in a nutshell, without taking up too much time.
This is about you, Mally. So you can take up as much time as you want. No, that's really cool. And one of the reasons why I thought it would be really cool for you to hop on here, Mally, was because we have a ton of artist managers in the room. We have curators. Like I see Jordan art/R and Beard in the room, who is a part of their R&B Radar team. We have digital marketers like Jane Pimcomrie. Hey Jane, how's it going? And yeah, a ton of indie artists, as well as people who are kind of on the come up, but still haven't made it over the cusp yet. And I think that your experience is really cool, because you come from not only the journalist side, but also the digital marketing side. And then on top of it, you have branding experience and graphic design experience, which is really cool. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, and that I think will be helpful for everyone else, is just like, how do you get your first step in? Like, or actually, when was the moment that you felt like you were in the music industry, and what does that mean to you?
So I always kind of have felt like I was. Anytime you're working with artists, and you're working with producers, and you're working with people who are actually doing the work, you never try to downplay it and say, oh, I'm not in the music industry because I'm not at this big label, or I'm not in the music industry because I'm not at this big publication. But anytime you get to surround yourself with individuals who are really putting out the music, and you're helping them in some way, shape, or form, you're really always in the music industry. You know what I mean? You're probably not where you want to be in the music industry yet, but you can't downplay the fact that you're not in it. So I think for me, it always has come down to just networking laterally and not vertically. You know what I mean? Like, rubbing elbows with people that I'm familiar with, and, chopping it up with them and talking with them would initially lead me to getting in contact with these bigger people. You know what I mean? You never want to take that long shot and automatically just try to connect with an exec at a record label. You know what I mean? There are people on that team who are interns, who recently started out, who are associates, who you have a better chance of connecting with and chopping it up with, who could get you in contact with that person you initially want to get in contact with. So that's always how I try to operate it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And as we're on that point, just a reminder for everyone that's in the chat and in the room, we do have a contact sheet, and we do this every single event. So if you haven't been to a Finesse Media event, we always have a contact sheet that goes around. If you fill your information out, one thing I ask is you do not spam anyone who's in the contact sheet, please. But we do give the contact sheet out so you can, connect with others in the room. And it's a great way to just get your foot in the door, start networking with people, getting to know them on a more genuine basis, because you can easily send out a message. And I think I spoke to you, Jane, who's in here somewhere. Jane is a digital marketer and was asking about how to get connected with folks and how to network with people. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I usually give to people is just send an authentic message out. Especially for those of you who are here, there are 54 of you here right now. You can easily send a message just saying, hey, I saw you were on the Getting Press event with Mally from Swid Life. Would love to get to know you. And if they say no, it's cool. If they don't answer, it's cool. If they say yes, awesome. Who knows what could come from something like that. So just want to plug that really quickly.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I would just say, you know, be personable. Like if you are reaching out to somebody and you want them to check out your music or whatever you're working at or working on, you know, don't come off as a like you're a robot. You know what I mean? Like there's somebody else on that other line. So just, you know, kind of convey that. Be personable. Don't always make it seem like you're trying to get something out of them. And that's really just it.
Mm-hmm. Mally, you probably get hundreds of submissions, more probably even thousands of submissions to Swid Life. I'm guessing, especially now that TikTok's available, people know what Swid Life is on TikTok. You're probably getting even more submissions now. So how do you decide, or even, you know, get through all of the submissions? Like, what is your process for going through everything, and how do you decide on who you want to feature?
Yeah, so thankfully, I have a small team of about 6 people. I don't know if some of them might even be on this call. I really haven't even looked, but if y'all here, appreciate y'all. But the way that we work is we have a submissions email, and there's about 5 or 6 people who have access to that submissions email. And we just really base it off of, you know, good music. We really don't try to gatekeep anything. So if I'm personally rocking with the song, or if somebody else is rocking with the song, we try to reach out to that person. And we understand that artists are at different stages in their careers. There might be some who know how to craft a well-written email. There's some who might have an EPK. There's some who might have a press release attached. And then there's some who probably don't. And they really don't know how to kind of navigate that. So we never, you know, try to look down and say, oh, this person just, you know, well, they greeted us, they gave us a little bit of background, and then they sent the link, compared to this other person who has, you know, this release written out, this EPK. We about to just treat all of them equally, the same. Put a little bit more emphasis on those who don't have that material. And by emphasis, I mean just providing them like a lot more feedback, like, hey, maybe the next release you should, you know, take a stab at putting together an EPK or putting together a press release. So that way we have your Instagram, your Twitter, your socials all in one place without having to, you know, copy and paste your artist name into search engine, and, you know, trying to find it. So it really just comes down to, at the end of the day, it comes down to good music. So if you have good music, and then if you have good press photos to back up the music, because we like to hold ourselves to that high end quality in terms of, we don't want to, you know, use selfies, and we don't want to use it. At the end of the day, like, music is a business, and you got to put yourself out there in a professional manner. You know what I mean? You got to treat yourself as if you already made it. So you have to have all these pieces kind of rolling around and together. And from there, it makes it easier for us, people in the press, to, you know, collect all those bits and pieces that we need to, you know, put together an IG post, put together a Twitter post, put together an article, or whatever the case is. But like I said, if they don't have that, we're not trying to gatekeep anybody. We will provide them with, you know, more information. But yeah, it really just comes down to the music. And from there, we just kind of plug and play. You know, we have various different playlists that we run. So if we think your sound is more fitting for this playlist, we'll do it for this playlist. If it's more fitting for that, and we just kind of move around like that with it, really.
You have such a good ear, by the way, Mally. I've been meaning to tell
Appreciate
you
you.
this for the long time, that you have a really good ear. And I wanted to ask you, I really like that advice. I wanted to ask you, how did you develop your ear for music?
It really, so the way that we used to, or the way that I operated, and the way that we first got started was during the early blog era days, and that's how a lot of cool artists and artists that were like different were like introduced to us. The authenticity part of the blog era is something that we try to uphold. But the way that I've developed the ear for music, it just comes down to who out there is making something different, I guess. music is one of those things where people just kind of take bits and pieces from their favorite artists and just plug and play and put their own spin on it. I stay within the hip hop, R&B, alt R&B, rap genres. That's kind of like my wheelhouse, and that's kind of like what I'm familiar with, and that's where a lot of taste of my music comes from. So if I see anybody in that space, trying to doing something different or trying to do something different, I'm always going to try to lean into more of that and kind of put more of those artists on the forefront. But in addition to that, I'm huge on visuals. So if you get me hooked off of like one video that you drop that's super conceptual and just like super crazy, I'm automatically going to be tapped in with you. I'm automatically going to see what you have coming next, and I'm going to be a fan, and I'm going to just tune in for that journey.
That's a good point. Visuals. Also, is everybody taking notes? I want to see some pens and papers up in the air. Does everyone have notebooks? I got my notebook. Let's go. Cool. So one of the things that you mentioned visuals. So let's talk visuals a little bit, because I think this will be really helpful for artists. So a lot of times artists have or create these music videos. They spend $5,000 on these music videos, and then they don't know how to put it out there in a way where it can grab people's attention. They don't know how to send it to press to grab people's attention the right way. So when you say that you want to see visuals, like what kinds of visuals are you referring to? And like, what do you usually look for in the way that they submit it? What could be helpful for artists?
Yeah, for sure. So we live in a world where now content is king, and more specifically, short form content is king. So if you're releasing, a new single or whatever the case is, obviously we live in a time where you just tweeting out that link or you just saying new single out, stream it now is really not gonna do anything at all. You need to be more intentional with the way you're putting it out there. So if you put together these, 5, 10, 15, 20 pieces of these short form contents that you could funnel people to actually check out the single without being super repetitive and just saying new single out, go check it out, new single out, that's not really going to do anything. So you need to take a little bit of a bigger step, and you need to work on ways to kind of get people's attention, like I said, without being too repetitive. So short form content, a good artist that I could use it for an example that really does this is a Queens-based artist named Haji Gaviota. I don't know if you guys are super familiar, but he recently dropped this song called I Love Smoking Mid, and I could not get it out of my TL because every other day he's posting like a new 5-10 second clip of the video, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to check this out. I had a pre-save just based off that. So the more you're in people's face with something without being super repetitive, like doing it in the same manner, I think you have a high chance of, striking that person's interest and having that person actually want to check out whatever it is that you're pushing. So
yeah, that's a good point. Bull Bay, whose music we're playing later in the chat, said is him right now. He's someone working on trying to put visuals up, but not sure how to. Kit Kat said Half Alive slayed their marketing on TikTok, one of my favorite groups right now. And Elijah says that's very helpful. Cool.
Yeah, and again, like the visuals, sorry to cut you off, but the visuals don't have to be, super, super elaborate. They don't have to be anything crazy, quick 10, 15 seconds of with the hook playing, or 10, 15 seconds of the verse playing, and just kind of repurposing those and just doing different things with those will go a long way, honestly. So it's not something that you have to, funnel a lot of money into to make it happen. You could just do this with an iPhone and just edit it through Premiere Pro, After Effects, or whatever software that you use, and just put it out there like that.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to just be on TikTok, by the way, everybody. You can use Twitter is a great platform for video content. LinkedIn is a really great platform for video content. Instagram, even though Instagram has been so annoying with all their algorithm changes and using Reels and stuff like that. And Facebook too. Facebook Reels are starting to take off. So as you all are creating different types of content, and what Mally said about creating different visuals so that people don't get bored of the same content over and over and over again. Think about utilizing them on different platforms. And if you only have a certain amount of visuals and maybe you don't have the time or the money to create new ones, or, you're not the best at creating TikToks, but you have a really great music video, where can you post it up in order to get more visibility? That could be YouTube. Kit Kat said YouTube Shorts. You could post it up on TikTok, Instagram, etc. Any of the social media platforms, even Reddit, Pinterest, and Tumblr are all doing well right now in terms of visual content. And then John Fry says big money for anyone whose shorts are hitting. Yeah, exactly. And YouTube is also paying for YouTube Shorts. So cool. Mally, what have you noticed about visual content as a digital marketer? Because obviously you have a different perspective from the journalism side, but like when you're doing email campaigns or text message campaigns or anything like that, how do you market visuals out like that?
Yeah, so a lot of times I feel like when artists hear this term digital marketing, they assume it's something that requires a lot of work and years of experience, but that's really not the case. And there's a lot of easy ways to get started on effective marketing campaigns. Establishing a social media presence, developing a flow of content to share, building email lists. Those are all things that go into digital marketing. But what I've noticed about digital marketing is it separates that barrier from just audio to visual. So you get, like I was saying earlier, you get a lot more people to tap into what you're doing when they get a little bit more access into who you are as a person. You know what I mean? And when you're showing that to people, they're able to connect with you a lot more. So when I'm doing, brand marketing stuff or digital marketing stuff for Dame Funk's Glide Zone Recordings Media, what we try to do is we try to incorporate a lot more visuals into our marketing rollout, so that way people could actually connect with him a little bit better. I think visuals overall just do a better way of communicating things. You know what I mean? You could only do so much with audio. You could only do so much with written format. So I think videos are what allows, listeners, everyday audiences, general fans to connect with artists a lot more. And you just have to be strategic with how you're presenting those videos. You know what I mean? How much of your life do you want the listener to see or the viewer to see, and just being a little bit more strategic with that.
Do you think that artists can evoke emotion the same way through just covers?
Like music, like doing like covers
visual content of them doing covers? Or do you think that they need to do, and I'm just asking this to play like devil's advocate here. So do you think that they could create covers if they don't have the funds to, make music videos? Like, would that still work?
Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, I think however you look at it, it would still help, because now you are giving people more insight into your artistry in some sense. If you don't have the ability to go out there and make music videos, but you have the ability to do covers or whatever the case is, and from a fan standpoint, that shows me how confident you are in what you're building. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have the funds to do this, you're not going to let that be a roadblock to you putting out visuals. So I still think that it would convey, the same emotion and the same, or probably not held in the same regard, but it would still, move the needle in a sense.
Yeah. And Mally.
Yeah, Fuji Ross. Somebody said something about, I think that's how you say his name, but he does an amazing job with that for sure.
Oh yeah. John Fry said he's been making amazing short form visuals for his music. Oh yeah. And he linked the TikToks if anyone wants to check him out. You said something that made me think of something specific. Oh, Mally, you said that you come from the blogging era. So this was probably pre streaming. I'm guessing that you were really into the blogging era. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you come from, well, I think we come from, sorry, I'm streaming live. So I've got
No, you're good.
TikTok and Instagram over here. I'm trying not to throw anything down. So we come from an era where streaming wasn't really a big thing, and cover artists were huge. Like you look back at some of the old YouTube stars, and even, you know, Chloe and Halle were big on YouTube before they were big now. And that was how Beyonce had found them. So I really like the point that you made about how it shows the confidence of an artist, because that's true. So for those of you who are artists out there who are afraid of making music videos because you don't have the funds for it, or not afraid, but maybe you just don't have the funds or the resources for it, but you have your phone, you all have a camera. So get in front of the camera and put yourself out there, because people see you putting in the hard work. If you're making content on a day-to-day basis and you're actually showing that you care about your community and you're spending time with them, then people are going to start showing time or spending time on you. So something to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
And Ivan Flores says, Sabrina Claudio is another example, founder on YouTube. Yeah, there are a lot of great examples. Mally, who are your favorite artists? I'm curious.
My favorite artist, so like I said, I stay within the hip hop genre for the most part. So I like the Lil Babies, I like the Drakes, Kendricks, and, you know, just to name a few. I don't want to jump too much into it, but those are probably, you know, my three that are in my rotation heavy for the most part.
What's been your favorite project that you've worked on or that you've done coverage on so far?
Favorite project that I worked on, this was probably a few years back, but we teamed up with AudioMac, the streaming platform, DSP platform. We did an exclusive playlist with them to kind of just get more people to sign up on the platform. So it was a SwidLife / AudioMac exclusive thing. And it was cool because that was like the first time that we worked with a bigger brand like that. And to see how many people, you know, this was probably like 2.5, like 3 years ago, like I said, to see, you know, how many people weren't on the platform and how many people were creating accounts just to, you know, be on the playlist was pretty cool. It kind of showed us that, like, okay, you know, we have a little bit of power and we have, you know, this platform to actually have people do things that are going to, you know, serve them well in their career. So that was a cool thing that I did, or that we did. Personally, another cool thing that I'm working on is I'm working on a collaborative shoe with a Glyzone Recordings, which is an indie label based out in LA. And the founder is a producer named Dame Funk. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, West Coast producer. So this is more of a brand marketing approach. Putting my, you know, design skills to use a little bit more. So, you know, I'm conceptualizing, doing the mock-ups, doing everything that needs to really go into, you know, being able to put together a silhouette for a shoe. So kind of excited about that. I don't even think they want me speaking on this, but nobody is in here from there. So there's that.
Let me know if I got to cut it out from the YouTube live.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Well, that's awesome. You do a lot of, what I think one thing that's cool about your platform is you do a lot of brand work. So you focus on building a brand that's sustainable and long-term, which also allows for these independent artists to get a lot more coverage than the average microblog, because the average microblog usually tries to stay niche and stay within.
I noticed they stay within written content for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. But what I love about what you do at SwidLife is you're able to break that barrier where you do include some mainstream artists, you include some independent artists, but you still focus on your core mission and goal, which is, you know, featuring independent artists and providing them with resources. So I just want to give you your flowers there, Mally, because that's really cool the way that you've been doing it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
5 years now. That's crazy.
Appreciate you. Yeah. And like, it's as cliche as it sounds, and you could probably attest to this too. Like when you wake up doing something that you enjoy doing, it really doesn't seem like, you're dreading it every single day. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
here's to 5 more. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome. And I saw some claps in the audience. So I'm sure that there are a lot of people who have questions, and we're a little bit early, but if you're down, Mally, I'd love to open up the floor to some audience questions. Is it cool to start the Q&A a little bit earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. Let's get it.
Okay, cool. So if you have a question, feel free. I'm going to go on to gallery view so I can see all of you. If you have a question, feel free to raise your hand. There's a little feature for it on the reactions. And if you have a question, please just keep in mind that we do have a large audience. So try not to be super, 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 super specific. We do want it to relate to the rest of the crowd. We don't want to hear about your baby mamas or your problems with your family. Just keep it
I can't help with that. So
yeah, exactly. So keep it to music. Cool. Kamsiana, is that how you pronounce your name? Cool. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, I just wanted to introduce myself really quickly. My name is Kamsiana. I'm an artist, singer, and producer from Maryland. And my question, I just wanted to know if you think it's, because it kind of alluding to what you guys were talking about before about like using all the different platforms that you can. Do you think it's more, or I guess it's better to either like focus on one or just do as much as you can? Just, I know like I work full time and, you know, trying to post on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, sometimes it just can get a little bit overwhelming.
yeah, for sure. I personally would say focus on one, but the work around that is a lot of the content that you are, you know, putting on one specific place could be repurposed on other places. So if you're putting up a, you know, 9x16 video on TikTok, you're able to just repurpose that and put that as an IG reel. But another thing is you really just want to find out where your core fans and your core supporters are the most active and just kind of, you know, feeding them through there a lot more. But that doesn't also mean, you know, neglect all the other, you know, however many number of platforms are out there, but just being a little bit more strategic with it and definitely not burning yourself out, because it could get like that. You know, if you have to constantly post on every single platform every single day, you might become burnt out as a creative to the point where you're not even having fun with it anymore. So yeah, be a little bit more strategic, see how you can repurpose content and put it on different platforms without, you know, you having to do extra work for it.
Yeah, and Kamsiana, a lot of people were dropping this in the chat. There are different scheduling, or there are different apps that allow for scheduling. So Twitter, for example, if you're on Twitter for web, you can schedule tweets. If you're on Instagram, you can schedule on, I think it's the Facebook Business Manager that you have to use in order to schedule. Facebook also allows you to schedule. They also have different platforms like Later and Zoho.com/social that allow you to schedule as well. So just keep that in mind as you're creating. You don't always have to be on every single platform 24/7. You can also schedule content ahead of time. And then also for everybody in the audience, those of you who do work full time and you're unable to create content and post it on every single platform, I suggest trying to dominate on one or two of them.
Absolutely.
At least. Especially if you can dominate on something like Twitter or TikTok or YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels. Hint, hint, everybody, Facebook Reels is becoming a big thing. Those are really great platforms for you to try to dominate on. Or if you're like a really underground indie person, Reddit is a really great place to try to dominate on too, because they're trying to get into visual content. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. John, what's good, John?
That's good. I missed y'all.
We missed you.
Of course. Thanks as always, Alexi and Kit Kat for throwing this great event. And Molly, thanks so much for your time here today. I did come in a little bit late, but I think you were talking about SMS marketing. Did I?
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I think it's such a dope way to like connect with fans on like such a personal level of like, you know, through text. So I'm just curious, like starting off, like maybe like what's a good tool to start with, and just kind of from like a general perspective, how would you approach like an artist, like putting that together to try and connect with their fans that way?
Yeah, absolutely. So SMS is kind of in line with the same as email marketing. It gives you that, it blocks that barrier from just social media. You know what I mean? Now you have more of a direct access to uh the audience. You have a more direct access to your fans and to these people who support you. And you're probably pretty familiar, but with SMS and email marketing, you know, you could give your fans more, you know, bonus content, whether they get dibs on new merch that's coming out, whether they get to see all the behind the scenes content, or whatever the case really is. um Having that ability to have those people readily available to you is going to take you a lot further, because on social media, you know, not everybody's going to see every single thing that you post. um I would say, to answer the second part of that question, in terms of, you know, what are some of the best platforms out there? The one that I've used, and I'm not a super I'm not super knowledgeable on SMS, but I know my way around it. We've been using Postscripts for probably a little over a year now. And with Postscripts, you have the ability to do Shopify integrations, list management, text compliances, and all that good, and analytics. So I would say Postscripts would probably be the best place to start. But yeah, I don't want to, you know, get off too much on SMS because I'm not, you know, too familiar with it. But it is something that I'm jumping in a little bit more myself and learning about it myself as I go and continue my digital marketing journey.
For sure. No, that's a great tip. I'm gonna check it out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
John is our superstar podcast host slash rapper in the community. Really funny podcast on YouTube.
About
Cool.
to tap in, check it out.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Rachel, you are up next. Nyla.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't change it. I changed it from, I don't know why I changed back to my
All good.
government name, but yeah, I had a question about because we were talking about like consistency and all that, and when it came to posting content, I know somebody asked the question of like where to focus on, whether we should focus on 1 to 2 platforms. But my question, to kind of piggyback off of that, do you have any tips for burnout in regard to like creating, and also like tips for confidence in in art and what you create and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing I would say about burnout is you don't want to go from making like, you don't want to have your content ideas be on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? You shouldn't wake up and be like, all right, what am I going to put together now? And then spend all day putting that together, and then go to bed and then wake up and say, all right, what am I going to you know what I mean? That's kind of what creates the burnout. So what you should do is, you know, before a release, you should really just take time to kind of put together a general list of ways that you're going to promote whatever it is that you're putting out. You know what I mean? Especially if pre-release, you should set up some KPIs, which stands for key performance indicators, which is really quantifiable measurement of performance, you know, over a specific object or whatever it is that you're doing. What this does is it provides artists with a target to shoot for, milestones to gauge progress, and insight that helps, you know, artists make better decisions. So once you have your KPI set up, say before releasing a track, you want to have, you know, 10 pre-saves, you're shooting for that goal. Now you have something to shoot for. You know what I mean? You could create content to reach that mark. You shouldn't always just base content off of, you know, like I said, something that you wake up every day and you just feeling like, oh, I have to make content, I have to make content. Cause like you said, that's going to create burnout. That's going to, you know, get in the way of your confidence as an artist. So you should always be a little bit more strategic with it. Take a little bit more time write down what it is that you really want to achieve, and how you're going to get to that end goal, and then plan out your content from there.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Are there any KPI references that you could refer us to?
In terms of
is there like a website where I can go to for
I don't think there's a general website. I know let me see. I know TuneCore had something available as far as like artist marketing, like tools and stuff like that, but I don't think there's a specific website. I don't know if you wanted to add to that, Alexis.
Yeah, I don't think there's a specific website for specific KPIs for artists to hit, because it's also all relative to where you're at in your career. One thing I would suggest, so essentially it's just your quantifiable goals that you're trying to create. So there are different options. You could be aiming for the amount of pre-saves. You could be aiming for, maybe you're selling merch at the time, so you want to sell 10 t-shirts. Maybe it's that you have a show coming up, so you want to sell 10 tickets or 20 tickets. There are other things such as you can strive for, maybe you're shooting for 1,000 streams. Maybe you're shooting for, I don't know, Mally, any other ideas that you can think of?
If you want, a specific number of views on a video, it's just, it really comes down to, like you said, it comes down to you as an artist and what you want to achieve with the particular project, single, EP that you're rolling out. You know what I mean? You obviously don't want to make these super inflated numbers that you're not going to hit, because then that could really, really mess with your confidence. So, just starting low. If you want 10 pre-saves, you do that, boom. Okay, next release, let's shoot for 20, and just kind of, building up from there and just having your content grow with every new release. So, but I think you hit a majority of those KPIs on the head with it.
Yeah, there are a ton of different ones. The one thing I would suggest not striving for, especially on TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc., is aiming for virality. So aiming for, 100,000 views on a video, because at the end of the day, what does that 100,000 views really convert to? You don't know if that's going to convert to followers. You don't know if that's going to convert to say you have one video up on TikTok and you get 1 million views on it. You don't know if that 1 million views is actually going to convert to people buying something from you, unless you have a really strong call to action. So there are a bunch of different ones that you can focus on. It's really up to you. And then just in the chat, so just focus on making good content. Yeah, exactly. The people will come if the content is good. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Nyla. And just to add on to the question about organization really quickly, or not organization, but burnout. Burnout comes from the lack of organization, planning, and a lack of self-care. So for those of you who have been expressing burnout or are thinking that you're probably going to get burnt out from what you're building, plan ahead, plan for your releases, plan for everything that you're building, create an actual rollout. If you know you're going to release a song within 4 weeks, what did those next 4 weeks look like, etc. Cool. Braden and then Sully, and then we're going to jump into our listening session. So Braden, go ahead.
Howdy, y'all. Hey, Molly. First off, I just want to give you a big thank you for stopping in tonight. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
My name is Braden. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, really, awesome to be here. So, my name is Braden. I go to OSU, and the past couple years, I've been working with this artist. His name's Kid Chaos, and you had said you mess with hip hop, talking like Lil Baby and Drake, Kendrick, and all that, right? I just wanted to ask, do you mess with like Kyle?
Do I mess with who?
Like Super Duper Kyle?
The artist?
Yeah. I know
okay.
who he is. So that's within my wheelhouse of hip hop and rap as well. So I'm familiar.
Right on. Well, so look, he my buddy Kid Chaos, he recently did a track. Well, he did it. We shot the music video for it like 2 years ago, and he just dropped it like maybe a couple months ago. And he ended up getting Super Duper Kyle to, in the last minute of that video, Kyle reviewed that clip, and he's like, "Hey man, you're like one track away from being the next up and coming, on the charts type feel. And I was just wondering, have you got like a good tactic or strategy for trying to get folks to revisit older content?
So what I will say is your older content is always going to be new to somebody. You know what I mean? So what you're just describing right now, even if it's, 2 years old, 3 years old, it's going to be completely new to me. And based off of that, I'm going to be, more in tune to check out all your past work. So I don't think there should ever be a point where you just stop streaming old music because you feel like it's too old. It's always going to be new to somebody. So obviously, if you have a new release out right now, you wouldn't promote the old release. But if there comes a point where somebody's asking for like, oh, I need new music, especially on Twitter, you see that a lot. You know what I mean? People asking for like music recommendations or whatever the case is. And if you haven't dropped in a while, you shouldn't, feel like, oh, I haven't dropped in, 7 months. So there's no point in me sending this track because it's 7 months old. But that's going to be the first time they hear that track. So I don't ever think you should, let up on promoting music, whether it's old, new, whatever the case is. It's always going to be to somebody. So you just have to, keep pushing that and just keep introducing it to people who haven't heard it for the first time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll drop the link to that video in the chat, and y'all ought to check it out.
Absolutely, man.
On
I'll check
IG
it out,
too.
definitely, for sure.
Thank you.
And to add on to that, one mistake that a lot of artists make is thinking that marketing their song and marketing their music is just posting a link on Instagram or just posting a link on Twitter. And there's a lot more that goes into marketing your music. So that means, setting up an email campaign, like the stuff that Mally does on the back end is so important. Setting up an email campaign, getting a newsletter created, setting up a website, doing EPKs even can be really helpful for the digital marketing side. Creating your website, even if you don't have one already. Some of that administrative stuff is part of, all of that administrative stuff is part of the marketing. So just keep that in mind as you're creating new content. It doesn't matter if you're always creating new content, if you're pushing it out to the same people. It doesn't matter if you don't have some of the branding taken care of on the back end. You have to create intentionally and also with strategy in order to get your music out to new audiences. So cool. Thanks, Brayden. Then last but not least, Sully, I'm going to go ahead and let you ask your question. Then Yudlin, if you want to type your question in the chat, maybe we can answer it while we're heading into the listening session. But Sully, you're up.
Awesome. Thanks for having me again. My question, one of my inspirations as far as marketing goes in the music, I would say it's 50 Cent, right? From how he started off as kind of like a hustle in your backyard type of guy to now he's able to align himself with these more powerhouse type of companies, right? Like and me myself being like a more of a out of the trunk type of style artist. One of my strategies was I started doing Lyft. And I would promote my music doing Lyft, right? And that's how I met a lot of my connections. I did it in LA, Sacramento, all through the Bay, right? But how would an artist like go from that? What's a strategy that an artist could use to go from like out of the trunk to try to align himself with it? Like say if I wanted to do business with Lyft. You mentioned Audio Mac earlier. Like how did you go from your early beginning starts to being able to align yourself with somebody like Audio Mac?
Yeah, so kind of like I touched on earlier, you just have to network laterally instead of trying to network vertically and just trying to get to the head of Lyft. You know what I mean? You never know who you interact with could put you in a position to kind of act as a stepping stone for the next person. You know what I mean? So you just have to look at the people around you. Depending on what it is that you want to accomplish. It's gonna differ for everybody. So I can't give you like a clear, cookie cutter example on how you could do that in your instance. But the biggest thing I would say is just network with those people in your circle. You know what I mean? They might bring you a lot more value than you really think they could. So yeah, that's really all I could say on that part.
100. Just consistency.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you,
Cool.
man.
Awesome. And Yulin did have a question that I think could be helpful. So I'm just going to answer this one really quickly. So Yulin had asked, oh, where'd it go? For artists with websites, what's 3 key things every music website must have in order to best serve potential press opportunities? I would say that, actually, Mally, you go ahead first.
All right, yeah. So I would say probably an about page. Just give a little rundown about who you are as an artist, you know, how you kind of got into your artistry. That could be vital information for somebody putting together a post, you know what I mean? We're able to grab a lot of that information to kind of, you know, throw into the article. And this is probably like the landing page for the most part, but a section that has all your music. A section that has all your music, so everything is readily available. Somewhere in the footer, you could have all your socials listed. A media's tab updated with, you know, your most recent press, so that way if somebody wants to get those images off the website to use in a post, you know, they're readily available as well. So yeah, homepage, all your streaming links, footer, social content, about page, and then a media tab, I would say. And if you have, you know, if you're an artist who's able to secure press in the past, you could have a press sections with just, you know, linking out to those press articles or quotes about, you know, what those writers said about your music. But that's kind of what I see for the most part. I think that's a good way to kind of balance that out.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I think one thing that could be helpful for all of you too is everything that you're putting in your EPK should be on your website in some way, shape, or form. So your about page, your press shots, your press. That's all you said, and your music, obviously. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for asking all your questions, and Mally, of course, for answering. So we are going to jump into our listening session. This is the fun part of the night, y'all. So usually what we do, or not usually, we always do this, we play about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes of each song from pre-screened music. So if you submitted music, then please just make sure that you are here for this segment. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then the folks that we're playing music for, I'll just go ahead and play 1.5 minutes and you all can listen in. So give me just 1 second to get set up. In the meantime, while I'm getting set up in the background, does anyone want to introduce themselves really quickly? You can go ahead and just raise your hand and then unmute yourself. No? Everyone's like, nah. Little bit, what's good?
I think we got a one hand, yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Hey, what's up? My name is DeBoer Bay. I'm a hip hop artist from Philadelphia. I also do community engagement here in Philly. Yeah, really excited to always pick up new information and learn from incredible creative people. And so congratulations to everybody making moves, doing incredible things. So it's dope.
Cool. Thanks, Amir. Cool. I'm still working on the tech in the background. Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Feel free to just raise their hand. Camsiana? No? Okay, cool. John, go ahead.
Hey, what's good, everyone? I'm John. As Alexi mentioned, the day job is a podcast. So I wanted to say, if anyone, you know, we talked a lot about content today. If you're like looking for feedback or help or whatever, feel free to hit me. I put my stuff in the contact sheet. So happy to help anyone in this community anytime.
Cool. Thanks, John. Also, how's everybody feeling? Are you all getting some good information from this? Have you gotten help here? Give me actually, we used to do the raise the roof. So if you're enjoying the event, give me a little raise the roof. Woo, 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 woo.
Let's get it.
Cool. Also, someone asked for the contact sheet. Oh, thanks, KitKat, for dropping that. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we have, first up, we've got Holy by Brianna Knight, who is being represented here by Alexandra, Alexandra, I think.
It's Alexandra. It's Alexandra Alexis. Hi, everybody. I don't have my camera on, but hello.
Cool. Thank you for coming and thanks for submitting.
No problem. Thank you so much for playing her song. I hope you guys enjoy. It's dropping on the 31st of January. So I believe, what is that, next Tuesday? So yeah, it's going to be on all platforms next Tuesday. You guys get the first dibs, a snippet. I hope you all enjoy it, and be sure to stream it next Tuesday on January 31st when it drops.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank
Also,
you.
as we're playing the music, everybody please, except for Mally and myself, please keep your mics off so that there's no echo and no background noise. And feel free to chime in if you like the song, type it in the chat. And then we always like to encourage all the artists and the managers to screenshot the chat if there are good comments or any good feedback. So this is Holy by Brianna Knight.
Heaven sent, heaven sent you to me. I was praying for so long, thought God couldn't hear me. The sweetest kiss I ever known. Your heartbeat with my heartbeat is a melody on its own. Baby, you're so good to me. Baby, I'll follow you if you take the lead. Baby, you're so good to me. You're my piece of peace. You're holy. Heaven sent you to me, 'cause I know in your arms there's no place I'd rather be. You give me the signs and stars, 'cause wherever the light is, I know that's where you are. Must be magic, 'cause baby, you got me floating. Ever since the day we met, time feels frozen. Baby, you're so good, baby, you're so
All right, I'm going to pause it there. Molly, what do you think?
I didn't get the chance to speak on this earlier, but I'm a huge on cover arts. Cover arts are usually the first thing you see before you check out any, bit of music. So just based off that cover art alone, if this was something that got sent to my email, this is definitely something that I would check out, and I definitely want to connect with this artist. Once the song drops, I'd love for some playlist opportunity for it. So
Yes, I will
I don't know
definitely
if the
reach out
artist
to
was in
you.
here, if it was a manager, but yeah, definitely
Yeah,
send
I
it
will
to me. I love the
definitely send that to
production,
you. Mhm.
love the vocals. Yeah, I liked it.
Cool. Alexandra, Brianna has been a part of the community for a very long time. We love her.
No,
Thank you.
trust me. When I started managing, I got a lot of my resources from Finesse Media. So I've been a supporter of you guys for a while. And, managing Brianna now, to just see you guys all, like, seeing your reactions, seeing everything you said in the chat, like, I will definitely be emailing you that song. And yes, please support, guys. She has a lot of amazing music on her platform already. So I would love if you guys would just go check her out. And thank you so much for your platform. We love you so much.
Cool. Well, we love you too. Thank you. Also, for those of you who are new to these listening sessions, we do these, well, we're not doing them every week anymore now that we've scaled back some of the programming, but we definitely are doing them every other week, I guess. Well, we'll see. We're trying to do every other week to every 3 weeks or something like that. Now that Kit Kat's going on maternity leave, which congratulations, Kit Kat. We are trying to figure things out still. But yeah, we love doing these listening sessions because they're a great way for you all to get some exposure for your music. Mally has even said that he's gonna potentially playlist Brianna Knight's song. So you all know next time, submit some music. Cool. All right, next up, we've got Dope, Dope, Dope by Sully. Sully, are you still in the building?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna play your song. 1 second. Oops, hold on. I forgot to share the sound. 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Here is Dope, Dope, Dope by Sully. The murderous way that we portray. Hold on, gotta start from the beginning.
They say my shit is dope, 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 dope. It's like selling dope, 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 dope. Dope, 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 dope. I'ma keep coming. I'ma keep coming. I'ma keep coming. I'ma keep coming. I'ma keep coming relentless till them white sheets cover my redness. It wasn't all a dream, I had to develop and manifest my vision while living nightmares, throwing off my circadian rhythm. So even in my sleep, I'm walking what I'm talking into existence. Is what you call purpose driven, creating opportunity for a living. I'm a walking pension, the result of the work my forefathers put in, expounding wisdom as the beats pounding, how the streets sounded, quiet as kept. Came in our way, but I never left. It's only right to send me the rap. You can't read between the lines, you getting goofy as they say in the West. I earned it, so it's all legit. I'm street liquid, check my cred. You will end up a flower bed if I'm at your head. I keep coming, scary movie, no mad. You can hear my drama, this is more than rap. I'm here now, so this is more than fact. Yeah, I'ma keep coming, I'ma keep coming, I'ma keep coming relentless. Till them white sheets cover my remnants. Rockin' fabricated pendants, symbolizing the business. For our sons in the project, a truly Corleone's highness. Nothing but flyness, I'm only dead to the negative vibe. Moment of silence, no slug goes unheard. Unnerved is our community, being violent and by the crowd. But now, childless mother slain by his very own who sat amongst them. Cold world.
All right, I'm gonna pause it there. Ooh, Sully, I like that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That reminded me of like 90s, 2000s kind of hip hop.
Yeah, that gritty hip hop sound. I
Yeah.
like it. It was fire.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That was cool. I like that you had mentioned earlier that it's kind of, what did you say, out of the trunk kind of hip hop?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I tried to do something. Most of my music has got a conscious element to it, but you know, I wanted to try to make them dance a little bit too, you know. So it's got a little bounce to it, and I wanted to say something. I think a lot of our music, it lacks that knowledge and that depth to it nowadays. And so I wanted to try to be able to mesh the two together where you can actually move, you know what I'm saying, vibe to the music, but as well as get something from what you're listening to.
Are you from the Bay Area?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I live in the Bay.
You live in the Bay currently?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's funny. I hear Bay Area vibes and Ohio vibes in the song.
Yeah.
Because Ohio is cool. Both Ohio and the Bay Area have very niche types of cultures, hip hop cultures. I feel like it's cool that you were able to mix both of them together. It shows a lot of personality.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The producer's actually out of Oakland. So yeah, like we probably got like 12 tracks together. So it's like we got together and it was like we just been making music like crazy. So I'm glad you guys like it.
Nice. Mally, any other comments?
No, I liked it. I was just gonna say, definitely follow me after this, man. I'd love to check out some other music. I was rocking with that. I like that balance. I like the flow. I like the energy. Definitely excited to see what else you got in store, though.
No doubt. I'll reach out. What's that? IG, right? Or
yeah, either one works. I think my info should be in that contact list, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could connect with me just on whatever is listed out there.
Okay, better.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Sully. Next up, we have got Unplug by RZ Shaheed. Riza, are you still with us?
Yep, still here.
It's good. All right. This is Unplug by Riza. I'm gonna play it from about 1:45.
What you are on the floor. They told me leave it to the universe. This a blessing, though it's not a curse. Go ahead, show what you worth, but keep in mind still what's really worth. I had to eat it and it really hurt, but I guess we move on. Unplug and cruise on. Gotta shake the toxins out. Gotta keep my groove on. Felt like we boxing out. Words piss me too strong.
but I can't hold on this for too long. Listen to your body, swear the energy won't steer you wrong. Ain't no more trying to defeat it, yeah, we really gone. I ain't in the seat to compete, they can have it all. Said I don't know, but I don't need you no more. Unplug your feelings, leave them all on the floor. Said I don't know, but I don't need you no more. Unplug your feelings, leave them all on the floor.
Ooh, cool. That was Reza Shahid. Mally, what do you think?
No, that was fire. Somebody in the chat said Mick Jenkins vibes, and I definitely felt that as soon as you played it. It was giving me like carefree Mick Jenkins vibes. So yeah, I was definitely rocking with that. I like the production. And somebody else also said like instant head nod music. And as soon as you hit play, that's like literally what I was doing. So that was fire. I like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, that
Yeah.
production's from a guy named Amara. He's pretty fire. So I think got a few things on the way coming from him. So appreciate the love, everybody.
Yeah, that was cool. It kind of gave me, it gave me Kendrick in a cafe kind of vibe. It was like I'm drinking coffee at 11 p.m. at night in a cafe bar or something in the Bay Area or in New York City or something, listening and nodding my head to your music with a band in the background. So that was cool. Thank you, Reza.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have got Limit Edition by the Bull Bay. Amir, are you still in the building?
Yes.
All right, cool. So this is
No, also I'm an instant fan of everybody who played their music. That shit is incredible. It's incredible.
nice. Cool. All right, this is the Bull Bay, who I believe you just came out with a song recently, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best to just release a lot of music and then go back after the fact. Like, you know, I think it was said earlier, it's old to me, but it's new to everybody else. So.
Yeah, facts.
Nice. Cool. This is Limited Edition by the Bull Bay.
Still in the trenches with me and my niggas, don't usually do this. I told you before, it's limited. Yeah. I know exactly what they thinking too. How you get that off? Yeah, it's limited edition. Just look at the stitching. Yeah, I'm still the same babe from back in the day, just doing it different. Yeah, I told you before, but you wouldn't listen. And yeah, I remember you from high school. You still need a ticket, it's no free admission. Yeah. They think this shit is a walk in the park. Clearly they never read Ball Up in Mars. They was quickly pulling pounds off the waist. You would think all these niggas on a diet. My homie showed me a book and then a Glock. Told me my choices dictate my survival. How I end up in Hawaii and came from the bottom and they made it to college. Raised around a bunch of drug dealers. They was community organizers. She heard all that, she got excited. She wanna ride, she wanna ride it. Brittany Cooper with the gin and tonic. Told me never fall in love with clients. She just securing the bag and it hitting it. Jasmine and Shirley, it's limited edition. Just look at the stitching. Yeah. It's still the same babe from back in the day, just doing it different. Yeah, I told you before, but you wouldn't listen. And yeah, I remember you from high school. You still need a ticket, it's no free admission. Yeah. Riding, listening to Beanie Siegel, Jill Scott and the Serato. Boy, I'm too Philly, like I'm Boo Bonnie. Call me Mr. Missing when you talk about me. What you expect? The jacket is wet, the color combination breaking their neck. I can't get mad if it's double stitch. That's a new definition of me throwing fits. They unfamiliar, but they know it's lit. They sound stupid when they post a pic. And all my youngins out in the trenches, and they out here making quick decisions. So don't slow down, dog. I'm out here rich. Same block, just a different position. Catch me on the other side of 60 like a pension. I told you it's limited edition.
Cool. What do you think, Mally?
I like it. I like I like the cadence. As soon as that beat drop, you wrote it all the way to the end. Definitely does give me a JID vibes. And I'm curious to hear who some of your favorite artists are actually, just based off of this track.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Philly, so my default gotta be Black Thought.
Okay.
My default gotta be Black Thought, Meek Mill, obviously. You know, away from that, Method Man has always been a big inspiration. JID's album, it's criminal that he didn't get a Grammy nomination for that. That is like the best rap album I heard in years. Earth Gang, J. Cole, Drake, the usuals. Was it Kato, the friend, Mick Jenkins. Mick Jenkins is fire. Yeah.
I feel it. No, that track was fire, man. Definitely want to hear more stuff from you. I was fucking with that heavy.
Thank you.
Amir, do you have visuals for that?
So I have like a bit of an unofficial video for that. It should be on my IG. I just went into a Halloween shop and I goofed around.
Nice. That's what you gotta do sometimes. That's cool.
Yeah.
I really like that one. And you got a lot of comments. You should screenshot all these comments.
Oh, say less.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. Next up, we've got Too Deep to Creep by Spill Raw. Raul, are you in the building? No, come on. Raul's a VIP member, so I'll act as his representative for the day. This is his first time sharing some of his music. So let me just get it set up 1 second, y'all. All right, this is gonna be Too Deep to Creep. Oops, 1 second. Here we go.
Baby, won't you hurry up? Estoy afuera de tu casa. Paper, paper on me. Paper burning, paper burning. I want all the smoke, baby, roll it tight. Got some plans that we can spend a night. You calling out, that's the shit I like. Hop in the Uber, I'm too lit to drive. I care too much, I wanna keep you safe, cause you're dangerous. Your body just bite them. Hey. You soundin', I'm like you the guardian. Whip on 10 like my Cardi lens. When I hit your wins, no need to pretend. I know we ain't perfect. Hey. Fast forward to when shit, I know it'll be worth it. I feel you still tryna find purpose in me. Long ass line like the DMV. Don't you ever fuck with me. We are irreplaceable, I just gotta let you know I'm too deep to creep. You tryna read my energy, but I ain't got no enemies. I'm too hard to see. I don't wanna leave. Don't you slow me down, wanna breathe. I've been waiting all night for you.
All right, I'm gonna pause it there. What do you think, Mally?
I like his vocal range. I like the drawn out vocals. I love the production. I feel like this is one of those tracks that would definitely benefit from some sort of visual as well, just giving somebody that visual component because it has that little bit of intimacy involved in it. So I like that. I wish he was in here so I could tell him that, but
I
you're the
know.
representative, so.
Raul, when you watch this, you hear that? We all wanted you in here. When you watch us on YouTube, you're gonna slap yourself in the face for not coming to this event. We're cool. Thank you for the feedback. I'm gonna now go to last but not least, we've got Jay Aaron in the building. Jay Aaron, are you still in the building? Let's go.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, yo. All right. Jay Aaron, we are going to play, what are we playing? We're playing Hands. And this is unreleased music, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Nice. All right. This is Hands by Jay Aaron. Here we go.
The devil's got his head all over the place. Like where you least suspect, right in front of your face. Designing your commodity, get caught up like Usher song. Like Usher song. Now I'm not calling him in. I'm a goddamn man. No, I'd never be so arrogant. But he's been acting a mess outside. Never thought it'd come up beside. Guess all I've been fucking life. Think the devil's got his hands over this one right here. You can never take a chance. Something this to me is clear. The devil's got his hands over this one right here. Keep talking low. Keep talking low.
That was so fire. I love that. I love that. I love the bass line. I love the funk element to it. Everything about that. The vocals was crazy. I'd love to hear, how that came about. If you got a little time to talk about it, because that was amazing.
Yeah, well, firstly, I'm overwhelmed that people enjoy it. I don't share my music at all, so I appreciate you guys being willing to listen first. So thank you so much. Yeah, I had a night where I was in a kind of a different space, and it was fresh off of one of these terrible tragedies, these shootings, these mass shootings and things like that. And I'm always so flabbergasted that we just quantify it as good versus evil, or this person is evil. And I've always wondered what the conversation would be like if we changed it and talked more about mental health, but instead we quantified as something like something I heard growing up, he's got the devil in him. So in my head, it's like, it can't just be that simple. It just can't be that easy, but y'all go ahead and keep talking.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a bad night. I put all that together in an hour. I produced it. I wrote it. And I was like, I needed to get that out. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, the fact that you produced it too is even crazier, man. Yeah, that was definitely fire. I was rocking with that. I know it's unreleased. Is it part of the EP, or is it just a single? How do you plan on putting that out?
I have hundreds of songs on my hard drive that I've never shared. So I think I'm just starting to piece things together and see what the right way to go about it is. I'm one of those like perfectionists, need to take my time. So I've done a lot of work for everybody else. So I think it's my turn.
Yeah, definitely connect with me, man. I'd definitely love to hear more and see what we could do together. I was rocking with that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Likewise, I will certainly hit you up.
It's your turn, Jay Aaron. It's your turn.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for everyone for listening. Thank you.
That was one of those songs where I wish I was a good dancer. So
yeah, right. I feel it.
I'm gonna start shuffling the background.
That's cool. Thank you.
If you need a backup dancer for your music video, I got you.
I will hit you. You're number one on the list. And thank you to everyone else who shared their music too. It's an inspiration just to keep this energy going. So thank you.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for sharing. I actually do have a little sneak peek I wanted to share with you all before we hop off. KitKat and I have been working with Crypto.com and LimeWire, which is releasing their own NFT platform soon, and we're actually releasing music and doing the marketing for it soon. It hasn't come out yet, but I wanted to share what we're working on because we're also working on a video game. So I wanted to show you all just what we have been doing in the back end. So give me just 1 second. All right, hold on, bear with me, y'all. Oops. 1 second. Here we go. This is a sneak preview of the video game. That's not out yet.
Graham on the beat.
Drumline.
I can see the stars in the sky, I'm in a race. Living out my dreams, I'm in charge, I'm awake. Shawty get a drummer song. This right here a one-on-one. You can't see me one-on-one. Win first, I'm the one. That's a paddock, whip through magic, make the roof disappear. I'm in the valley, from the valley. I got 2 bitches here. I might just stage dive, FaceTime and with my nigga. Told him that you win some and lose some. Either way, I been that nigga.
So that's just a sneak peek of the video game that we've got coming out. It has been really cool to work on.
That's amazing. Congratulations to y'all. That's so fire.
Thank you. I don't know how to market a video game. So if you all know any people who are skilled at that kind of stuff, y'all let me know. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Happy 3 years, Finesse fam. We did it. Woohoo! And thank you, Mally, so much for joining us. once again, if you all enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed Mally's advice, got something out of it, unmute yourselves and give us a little woo woo. I told y'all I'm gonna take the recording of all of the woot woots that we've gotten in the last 3 years. It's just gonna be a song of all of our woot woots. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Mally. Any last pieces of advice or last piece of advice for all of the folks that are in here?
Yeah, I would just leave y'all with as artists and creatives, you probably know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. Give yourself grace. Everything in life is a learning process, so don't ever feel like you have to have everything figured out from the jump. Make mistakes, fail, just get back up and try again.
And have fun. Have fun.
Have
And
fun.
make
Yes, have
good
fun.
fucking music. All right,
That's
y'all.
really it. Appreciate you, Alexis. Appreciate the Finesse Media team. Appreciate you, Kit Kat. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This was dope, and I look forward to connecting with y'all more.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. Happy 3 years. We'll catch you next time. Bye, y'all.
Have a good one,
Thanks,
everybody.
Natalie. Bye.